episode of the Verdict Podcast. That's right. This is our 16th episode. And you guys, I'm so super sorry that your girl has not been on here for quite some time. I have been working on my doctoral degree. And so the podcast has been on a standstill. But I'm back today with a special episode. I just want to say thank you to everyone who has been supporting the Verdict Podcast. I want you guys to know that the judge is here with some good information. And I want to know, what's your verdict? I hope you missed. Now, we're talking about a few topics today. We're talking about what qualifies you to be a 10. What makes you a 10? Okay. We're also going to talk a little bit about the Diddy trial, and we're going to talk about wearing fake hair. Is wearing fake hair truly a problem in this society? Do men like fake hair? What's the issue with wearing fake hair? We have so much to talk about when it comes to beauty standards, and we're going to get all into it today. But before we do anything, before we say anything, we must do a PSA. This PSA is going to be for mature adults only. This podcast is for mature adults only, okay? If you are 18 or younger, this is not for you. This is not for kids. This content is going to be real, raw, raunchy. The things that we talk about is for the mature crowd. It can be explicit. There will be profanity. And so if that's not your stilo, please exit stage left, okay? Very good. Also understand that anything that is said, anything that is done, anything that is shown here on the Verdict Podcast, it does not have anything to do with any other organization, association, or business that the judge is a part of, okay? So with you knowing that, we're going to get right into it. Let me see if I am actually playing. Okay. All right. So you guys haven't seen me. I have been out doing comedy per usual. If you don't know, my comedy special is still on Amazon. It's called The Verdict. Make sure you guys go and purchase The Verdict podcast. The Verdict comedy show on Amazon. You can rent it or you can own it. Please make sure to support. Also, you guys, make sure to follow me on all social media platforms under Comedian Judge Miles. That's where you can find me at Comedian Judge Miles. And the standard of beauty. I've been looking at a lot of podcasts and hearing a lot of men talk about what beauty is. And as a woman, most women think that they're a 10. Even if they're not, most women are going to say that they are the baddest, the best, the bossiest, the finest, the most gorgeous, because that's just a part of having confidence. But the reality of it is, are you really a 10? What makes you a 10? They say that if you have fake hair, fake eyelashes, fake body, can you really say that you're a 10? Can you really say that you are the baddest in the room when in reality, none of that belongs to you? They want to know what you look like without all of those things on. Are you still qualified as a 10? They say that if you're wearing fake hair and fake lashes and you don't have your real body, then you cannot say that you are a 10. I was talking to my guy the other day, and I said, in actuality, I feel like I'm a 10, right? Like, I'm beautiful. I believe I'm beautiful, as all women should believe this. And I believe that no one can call me ugly, right? I don't think that I'm ugly. But in reality, am I the most beautifulest to everybody? Is everybody going to think that the judge is beautiful? Some men may not like thicker women who have more weight on them. I'm a little bit over 200 pounds. And in today's society, would they truly qualify that as being a 10? That's the question. They say that you have to be a certain body weight to even constitute yourself as being a 10. They say that if you are of a certain weight, you can't say you a 10. So women that are plus size or women who are overweight, they're saying that they can't call themselves a 10 because they're over size, where you have big breasts and you have a small stomach and you have curves and you're not overweight. And it's like, How can one really truly say what's beautiful? They say that you have to have a certain symmetric in your face. You have to have a certain size nose or a certain size cheekbone structure. These are the things that constitute you being able to call yourself a 10 and right? And I was just like, wow, that's crazy. I understand that there's different strokes for different folks. I understand that different people may not like certain things, but can we really just downgrade a person on the scale of beauty because they wear fake hair or they wear lashes? And my whole thing is this: do you look just as good without all those things? That's the question of the day. I was looking at a post and the man was like, take that shit off. We want, me as men, we want to see your true beauty. They say that we don't listen to them. As women, we don't listen to what men really want because they say what men really want is free. They say none of the shit costs. They say that we must be in competition with each other because we damn sure are not listening to what men want. Men claim to want natural everything, natural hair, natural body, take off the lashes, take off the makeup. They want to see your real face. This sounds wonderful, right? But the reality of it is men say these things and then they go after the women who have all of the fake shit on. So it's kind of confusing to women and what women think is beautiful. A lot of times women are competing with one another, and some women don't even give a damn what men want or what men like. It's about what they like. Me personally, because I do have a man, I try to accommodate the things that he like without losing who I am and the things that I still like. These things occasionally. I like to wear makeup. Can I go without these things? Absolutely, because I believe that my face and the way that I am and the way that I look can go without, because underneath all of that, I believe I'm beautiful. I believe I'm pretty. I believe that I'm cute. I believe that I have some type of ranking, okay? But some women can't. And they say those are the women who are claiming that they are dimes, tens, all of these things. They're claiming that they're the baddest in the room, and they have all of these standards, and they want a man to come with the table, with the money, with the bag. But they're saying that you're not even real. You don't even love yourself. This is what these people are saying. And I'm like, wow, this is really a great topic to talk about, because what is beauty? What is beauty? Can you still call yourself beautiful if you have on extensions of who you are? Lashes, hair. If you got your teeth done, if you got your ass done, can you still say you're beautiful? Some people say absolutely. Absolutely. And then some people say absolutely not. The men are speaking up more and more and more and more, and they're claiming that they want natural. They want to be able to rub their hands through their women's hair. They want to be able to see their woman without a wig on and still lust after her, still want her, still desire her. And what they're saying is that many women cannot go without these things. So if you can't go without these things, then you cannot call yourself beautiful. You cannot call yourself a baddie. You cannot say that you look better than somebody when everything that you have on is fake. This is what the men are saying. And they're speaking up about it more and more and more and more. We're hearing these conversations. And my question is, what's your verdict? Is these conversations making you want to not go get your body done? Are these conversations doing anything to you? How do you feel about it? Are you a woman who has heard this from your man and changed your whole MO? Have you decided to wear your hair more often? You know, when I hear these things from my man, because he's a man that likes natural, I do try to accommodate him. As I said earlier, I try to wear my hair natural sometimes and go weeks without wearing lashes, because I believe that I can do that and still look appealing and still look attractive. But I think that the part that gets me is if you choose to wear those things, how people view you now. We didn't just pull the shit out of our ass. This came from somewhere, right? And that's why I say that this is confusing, because you see the women on TV who are wearing these things, they glamorize themselves, and these men are going after them. They desire the Portia Williams, they desire the Kim Kardashians, they desire the Lala Anthonys, they desire the Beyoncés, they desire these people. They desire the Nicki Minaj's, but then they'll tell you they don't want that. They don't like that. They don't want that for their women. And that's the thing that's confusing, because a lot of times these men are cheating with those type of women. And when I talked to my guy about it, he explained to me that, yeah, men hit that. Men will definitely hit that. They'll hit it. But that's not what they want for their wives. That's not what they want for when they're introducing their parents to this person. They want a woman who's able to be natural. And I said, okay, I understand that. I can dig that. I started to grow my hair. As you guys can see, edges is coming in. Okay. I started to not wear makeup, just a little eyeliner. I took off my lashes for about 3 weeks. I do this often. I just put back on my lashes. But guess what? I have them in a lower dosage of them. They're not all flashy, right? That I enjoy, because I do enjoy these things. And one thing about it, ladies, we don't want to lose ourselves trying to please somebody else, trying to make somebody else happy. I've never wanted to be that type of person. I always want to stay true to who I am and what I like and what I believe. But because I am in a relationship and I love my guy, and I believe that his word is bond, I believe that the things that he wants to see and desire, he should see those things, because I'm his woman, right? But we have to have some type of compromise. Compromising is imperative, right? That's imperative, because we don't want to do everything that the man wants all the time, give in to what he needs and what he wants all the time, and then we lose ourselves, and now we're not happy, and now we have resentment, or now we are feeling some type of way about it, right? And then some people may say, but why would you have resentment, or why would you feel some type of way? Why aren't you able to just do what they want you to do, or become what they want you to become? But the thing about it is, it's something called individuality. Everyone has it. Everyone has it. And fortunately, a lot of people have made these things their individuality. This is who they are. They enjoy the idea of putting on makeup sometimes, getting glamorous. They enjoy the idea of changing up their hair, changing up the colors, changing up the styles. They enjoy these things. This is what they truly enjoy. And then some women just have to do it. Let's just talk about that. Some women have to wear makeup, fake hair, lashes. This is what they have to do, because without it, they're through. Okay? Without it, they're through. Let's just talk about it. Let's be honest about these things. These are the things that we don't talk about often, but we have to talk about it. Some women have to do it. Can you imagine what some of these women would look like? But if you take it off, a lot of these women you're going to run from. You're going to run from these women. Okay? What's your verdict? I would like to know your verdict. They say that Kevin Samuels, which they call the Godfather, they say that a lot of times he was being evil or malicious, but a lot of people really respect the commentary of Kevin Samuels. They respect his word, because a lot of times he was just being truthful. A lot of women have been requiring so many things. They want a man to look like this and look like that and have this and have that, but they are fake. They have more than one child by more than one man. They're overweight. And Kevin Samuels was saying, you're not going to get these things. You're simply not going to get these things. You're being delusional. Has society become delusional? Has women become delusional in the things that they desire, the things that they request? Are they not being logical? Why can't people request these things and it be okay? What's your verdict? You know, I've been just listening to the commentary of so many podcasters, and I say, you know, I'm going to go on here and I'm going to talk to the people, and I'm going to see what they feel about this. how they feel. Men are tired. I've been getting the consensus that men are tired. You don't know where I got this from. I was watching K. Michelle on Cam Newton's podcast, right? And when she was on his podcast, she was crying about how men are, black men specifically, how creating broken families, how they are not being responsible with creating children. And she started to cry. And I watched so many podcasts of men and they were just not going for it. Like they chewed her up and spit her out. They were like, we're not going to go for this because she is the reason why so many women have this false ideology of what they should have in a man, in a family. And I asked, what do you mean by that? They said, look at this lady. She's sitting here on the couch, damn near half naked. They consider her dress half naked. You know, men are saying that's not how a woman should dress. That's not how a lady should dress. And they're saying, how can she speak of anything when she is not married? She too has a broken home. And more importantly, what they were saying is women dictate sex. Women are the controllers over who's going to have their body or not. They're saying that she's blaming black men for being the culprits of creating these broken homes. But they're saying, what about the accountability of black women? They're saying that black women are the ones that's allowing these men, no good men who are creating broken homes, to enter them raw and create children with them. They're saying, where is the responsibility of the women? Why are women choosing or allowing these type of men in their space? And then when these situations come about, they're not taking any accountability. They're saying that she was putting it on all black men. And a lot of black men are saying, I do step up. I do take care of my children. You know, I may not want to be with that woman, but I'm still in my child's life. Things simply don't work out. And I thought that was interesting because one part of the thing that she was talking about, I understood. I do see a lot of men glorifying. You talk about your Cam Newtons, you talk about your Nick Cannons, glorifying having multiple women and having multiple children in different households and not being with any of these women. But what we have to understand is a lot of people are arguing that this is the top 2 or 3% of men who have this type of money, right? They're saying that these type of men, of course, this is what they're doing because they have the choosing of the picking. They can go and come as they please. But if women said no, if women didn't chase money and chase fame and chase popularity and start to have some type of standards, that women could change the dynamic. They're saying that women have to take responsibility over what's happening as well when they talk about creating broken homes. And I was like, that's interesting. That's very interesting because I do see a lot of men who create broken homes. They know for sure that they are not going to be with this woman. They don't care to be with this woman. They just want to have sex with this woman. They have unprotected sex with her. Then she ends up getting pregnant and they're nowhere to be found. Or maybe they are somewhere to be found, but then they go to the next woman and do the same thing. And they do this over and over and over and over and over again with no thoughts about truly being with these people. So I did a little bit of research, and the research was men are afraid to marry. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Men are afraid to marry. They're saying that the system of marriage is a trick. They're not going to marry a woman and stay in the home because now she has all of the power and the access to their money. We're talking about the men who actually have money. And if something goes haywire, then she's going to come out on top and he's going to be left in the ruins. And men are scared. They're saying that because women are choosing not to listen, not to follow leadership, not to want to be under the authority of a man, want to do what they want to do, want to wear what they want to wear, want to dress how they want to dress, that this is women's reality. That many women are going to be crying about broken homes. Many women are going to be crying about being left with children and being single because men are choosing not to marry. I've seen many men talk about how they're sick of women. This is the society that we're living in right now. I can't make this shit up. It's like we're at war. Men and women are at war. It's a power struggle. And the men are saying, if you just listen, if you just give in, if you just allow us to lead, if you just be in your feminine state and come up out of the aggression, then maybe things will start to change. And the women are saying, bullshit. Bullshit. That's what the women are saying. Listen, I'm no psychiatrist, even though I am getting my doctoral degree. But what I can tell you is we are in a state of emergency. We are in a state of emergency. It is sad. And you're going to hear many more women crying because the men say they are tired. The men say you can't have both. You can't want to be a boss bitch and a boss chick and want to be a married woman. They say you can't have both. But some women think you can have it both. Some women feel like, what's the problem? Why not? I talked to a couple of men, I interviewed a couple of men, and I found out that boss chicks, these women who are in this state, who feel this way, they have a problem with submitting. This is what the men are saying. They have a problem with submitting. They have a problem with listening, with being under the leadership of someone. And because of that, men are deciding they're not going to be in relationships. They're just going to hit it and quit it. They don't want the hassle. They don't want to be in a relationship with a woman who's going to try to control them, tell them what to do. This is what they're saying. I find it interesting. But I see it happening. We are in a state of emergency. The statistics say that in the next 10 years, there's going to be a plethora of single women with children. The statistics say that Black women are divorcing at a higher rate than Black men. And men are saying, are you guys serious? You talk about wanting these things, but when you get it, as soon as something happens, you're ready to be in a divorce. You're ready to get up out that thing. You're ready to take all my money. You're ready to tell all my business. That's what the Black man is saying. Women, do we have an obligation to do a little bit of reflecting? Taking accountability? Let's talk about it. Because when somebody try to tell us, I do see this all the time. When somebody try to tell us about ourselves and tell us how to get to the solution of being happy or being in a relationship or getting that marriage ring, because even though we are the rulers over sex and we control sex, they say that the man dictates marriage. I got that from Cutter Spoken Truth. You guys go follow him. He's true to what he say. He comes from the Bible. A little bit of chaotic when it comes to the topics. He's controversial. However, you're going to learn some things. He says on his podcast that men controls marriage. So if you want to be married, you got to listen to the things that men are saying. You can't come in here trying to rule things and take over and then want a man to propose to you. They say that that's not how that works. They're looking for women who have femininity, who are soft, who are able to be a helpmeet, who are able to be led. A lot of these women, they say, are not able to be led. You can't tell them nothing. You say something to them, they got an attitude. They want to boss up on you. They want to try to fight you. They want to disrespect you. First word come out of their mouth is bitch ass nigga, pussy asshole. This is what the men are saying. My God. You know, when I look at all of this nonsense that's happening in society, I do thank God, the Most High, that I am already taken. I would not want to be out here in this world with all of this controversial bullshit, with all of this drama that's happening, you know, with this war that's happening. I believe in black love, but I do believe in listening. I believe in submitting. I do believe I about that. It's happy Juneteenth, okay? I'm a strong black woman. I come from ancestors that are kings and queens. I come from a long lineage of strong black women. However, I do understand that men love strong black women, but that strong blackness needs to be exhibited in certain areas, right? It's a good thing in dosages. It's a good thing to have when you're building, when you're making things happen, when you're striving for success. It's a good thing. But how strong do you need to be when you got a man by your side? That's the time where you need to pipe down a little bit. I believe in that. I believe in piping down a little bit, especially if you have a man, a God-fearing man, who has the ability to lead. I allow him to lead. Sometimes when he is in his leadership mode, I be looking at him like, I don't know about this. But I understand what the Bible says. The Bible says that he is the head, that he is the leader, right? That he answers to God, and I'm supposed to answer to him. I know this sounds crazy. Shots fired. But that's what the Bible says. And so a lot of times I gotta just trust in God. A lot of times my strong blackness want to jump up and be like, no, I got this, no, you who you think you. But a lot of times I gotta hold my tongue. Bite my tongue. Sometimes I bite my tongue so much that motherfucker be bleeding. I'm surprised I got a tongue. But I'll tell you one thing. It has worked out. It has worked out. Me trusting in God, him trusting in God, and me trusting in him and allowing him to lead even when I wasn't sure. Time and time again, he's reliable, he's accountable, he's responsible, and I can trust in him to lead. But women, I get it. Sometimes you want to take over. I get it. Because that's who we've been for so many years. That's who our mothers are. That's who our grandmothers are. That's what we've been taught. We've been taught to be strong, be a strong black woman. But sometimes when you have a man, it's okay to submit. It's okay to allow him to be your leadership. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you less than. I'm none of those things. I'm a beast in the community. I'm still strong. My name and my reputation rings bells. But when I'm in this household, I feel comfortable. I'm in a space where I feel safe to allow this man to lead. And it took some time to get there. It took some practice. It took a lot of biting my tongue. It took a lot of me reading scriptures to understand. See, a lot of us haven't been reading those scriptures to understand what a woman is supposed to be, how she's supposed to behave when it comes to a relationship. But I wanted to know. I wanted to get this thing right at least one time in my life because I have been bumping my head so many times. So I said, I got to try something different. Now, this is not for everybody. Everybody is not going to take kindly to this. Some people are going to be like, oh, she's a pick me, oh, this and all, da, 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 da. But look at those people. A lot of those people are single. They're home with a one parent, a one income. They have no help. They stressed out every day, all day. I'm not. I get to pick up the phone and call my man. Hey, the car broke down. I'm tired of being a strong black woman. I know this Juneteenth, but I'm tired. Now I got a strong black man and I'm allowing him to lead me. We talking now. Now we cooking. Now we cooking. Some people gonna be looking at me like this is a scary movie. They're gonna be afraid to follow what I'm saying. They may not want to open up about it. They're gonna be leery, honey, opening the door slowly. But this is nothing to be scared about. Sometimes you gotta try something new. Sometimes you gotta learn something different. Sometimes you have to change who you are to become the person that you want to be. Now let me just make this PSA. By no chance am I telling you to allow a scrub to lead you. We're not talking about a scrub. And if you are the type of woman who has a scrub, then you need to do some reflection. You need to think about your decision-making skills and how you got in that situation, right? I'm talking about a capable, able, God-fearing, hardworking, providing man who's just asking for women to listen a little bit. Y'all know how we can get. We think we know it. Just listen a little bit. To compromise just a little bit. That's what I'm talking about. I know it's tough, ladies, especially my black women, because I'm one. I understand. I told you it took some time, took some practice, took some praying, it took some biting my tongue. But I'm telling you, once I got into that groove and I see the way it's supposed to be, it's so much stress off of me. So much stress off of me. Seriously. I'm like, whoa, this is... Ooh, won't he do it? Won't he do it? I'm so happier. I'm happier now. Not to mention he be knocking the Sonics coins about. Hello? Don't you want that? Don't you want a provider, a leader? In home? Don't you want that? Or do you always want to be single? Some people do. Some people do. Some people do. I'm not knocking it. All I'm saying is this. If a war break out right now, who's going to be there to help you? Who's going to be there to help you? If a war break out right now, who's going to be there to help you? You can't have your sneaky link. He with his real family. Hello? Hello? Are men asking for too much? Are men asking for too much when they ask us to take the fake hair off, to take the lashes off, to take the makeup off? Are they asking for too much? Can you not do it for a week, a day, an hour? I don't know. I'm just reporting to you guys what the men are saying, because the men are saying that we're running out of time. The men are saying that if we don't get our shit together, we will be alone for a very long time. That's what they're saying. They saying that there's going to be more tears to come, baby. They say K. Michelle ain't the first to be crying. She they say there's going to be many other women on there crying because we don't listen. That's what they say. That's what they say. I don't know. I do see. But I did see what K. Michelle was saying too. Some men are out here wanting all of this shit, wanting you to listen, compromise, do all these things. And they ain't got shit to offer. And for them men, we not talking about them men. We kicking them men to the curb. We not talking about them men. Them men, we can't listen to you. You don't even have your shit together. We can't. It's impossible to listen to you. It's hard. You're making it hard for us to listen to you. I'm talking about the capable and the able men. Capable and able men. That's the men I'm talking about. Who are just saying they're tired. No, they're not getting married. No. Women don't listen. They want to be the man. They want to wear pants. It's a lot to think about. It's a lot to talk about, honey. There's a lot to talk about, lots to think about. But is it something to consider? I think it is. I think it's worth considering. I think that it's worth considering. Okay? I think that is worth considering. Because if not, you may just wake up one day to a harsh reality like you're getting punched and find out, damn, I went through this whole life single, alone, by myself, struggling, depressed, tired. All because I just wanted to be outside. Lord have mercy. All because I just didn't want to listen. All because I just didn't know how to compromise. I just didn't want to just hear the person out. My God, I don't want that for you. I didn't want that for me, honey. But I had to do some reflecting. I had to do some reaching in, digging in deep. And most importantly, I had to open up that Bible. I had to find out what. I'll tell you that right now. I wasn't a Sunday school woman. I was brought up Muslim. Allahu Akbar. Yes, I was. Till one day, somebody brought me to that Bible and said, read it for yourself. And that word punched me. And I said, ooh, this is deep. That's what you asking? My God. I said, you asking for a lot out of me. But they have a little saying that to whom much is required, much is asked for, or something like that. Y'all know. Much is given is required. And I started to peel back the layers. And I started to say, okay, all right, this don't sound too bad. Let me see how this will be if I just listened. I'm still working on my listening, honey. I'm still working on it. I'm not. Let me just say that right now, baby. I'm still in the process of getting it completely together. But I do want to tell y'all, in all honesty, in order for us to really start creating these happy life that we want to see, both Black men, Black women, we have to be held accountable. We have to do better. We have to start loving each other more. We have to start communicating more. And part of communicating, it's not just talking. Majority of it is listening. That's why we have one mouth and we have two ears. And even sometimes if you don't agree, sometimes you got to agree to disagree, right? Sometimes you just have to take it all in and see, hey, let me just think about this. Let me just see. Very important. All right? Well, we're going to move on. We got another topic to talk about today. We talking about the Diddy trial. Yes, we talking about the Diddy trial, honey. It's been baby oil everywhere, goddammit. Baby oil everywhere. They been going through that bedroom like they on like they on a goddamn hunt for the freakery. Baby oil on the ceiling. They got baby oil in the tile, on the carpets. They say Diddy fucked up many hotels because he was acting like he was Tarzan up in that pussy. More baby oil. More baby oil. I need baby oil. Diddy said he need his baby oil hot. Hot. Okay? What I'm seeing from this trial so far is that Diddy is a sick man. Diddy is an abuser, domestic violence abuser. Diddy is a manipulator. Diddy is definitely a freak. Diddy seems to be a bit gay. Diddy seems to be a bit twisted. But what I have not seen, goddamn, is that he has trafficked anybody. Let's talk about it. He's evil, honey. He's evil. Yes, he's evil. But what they trying to get him on is trafficking. Okay? Sex trafficking. Women. And I haven't seen that. The latest is that they have a voice recording of Miss Cassie, who's the victim, allegedly. And she is a victim to a certain extent. She's a victim. I would say that. She's a victim because she put herself in a predicament because she did it. She put herself in a predicament to be manipulated and to experience physical harm, and she believe. I do believe these things. You should believe women when they say things. However, as the case goes on and more and more and more and more evidence begins to present itself, we're seeing a little different side of Cassie. What we've seen in the current evidence is that Cassie is on a recording saying that she's going to kill somebody. Somebody allegedly said that they saw her on a freak off tape. It spent her off to go crazy, and she was recorded saying she's gonna kill this guy if he doesn't tell her what the tape is, if he doesn't tell her more information about what he's saying. She's gonna chop him up, she's gonna kill him, and then Diddy is gonna kill him. And she sounded as if she was loving the power that she was in. She didn't sound like a victim at that moment. She sounded like she was in cahoots with Diddy when it came to being violent. It's starting to show a different side of Cassie. We're starting to see Cassie as, yes, she's a victim, but she's also a perpetrator. Okay? She's not completely innocent. Yes, he beat the shit out of her. Yes, I believe that. Yes, he manipulated her. Yes, he coerced her into doing sex acts, but some sex acts she wanted to do on her own. This we know. Come on now. This we know. Some sex acts she wanted to do on her own. She was around there sucking and fucking and carrying on BDMS and using the baby oil and carrying on. She was freaking off on them men so much she had some of them men crying. Grown men. They was tired. Allegedly. I'm just saying. We're seeing a different side of Cassie. Now, we all have known for many moons that Diddy is a freak. A freak of nature, a freakazoid, a freak daddy. He's disgusting. But just like we heard about it, she heard about it as well. But that didn't stop her from talking to him and dealing with him. She, in fact, cheated on her man who loved her very much so, right? Go do y'all research on this. Cheated on a well-known producer. I think his name is Ryan Leslie. She was in a relationship with him, left him to be with Diddy because of hypergamy. Hypergamy meaning that she saw better and she decided to go for better. But there's always going to be a man or a woman that has more or look better or a bigger dick or a better coochie or whatever. And so you have to say to yourself, where's the loyalty? And sometimes when you choose a person who has better, they're not always better in the inside. And so she ended up getting Diddy, despite her hearing all of these things about Diddy prior to, because we heard all of these things about Diddy. But the money is what drove her. The power is what drove her. Now she's in this situation, and granted, no woman should be treated like that. But should she be taking some accountability as well as we continue to see the evidence unfold? I don't know. I don't know. These are the things people don't talk about. People are too scared to talk about. Now, if they had Diddy on domestic violence, he should be getting sentenced. But they have him on trafficking, sex trafficking, and we have yet to see any evidence of sex trafficking. We've just seen evidence that he's a freak, that he's a sick man, that he manipulates women. Many men manipulate women. Have women crying. Is it a crime? Ethically, it's wrong. Ethically, it's wrong. Right? Ethically, it's wrong. He's not a good person. But should he be in prison for it? I don't know. I don't know. What I do know is this. I'm not here to take up for Diddy at all because I don't like shit that he did. I don't like the way he carried himself. I don't like the way that he took power and let it go to his head. A lot of black men do this. A lot of men, period, do this. When they're in power, they take it and go to their head. I don't like anything about the situation. However, I believe that in this situation, he needs to have a just and fair outcome, right? And unfortunately, I believe that because they got him on sex trafficking and they're not able to prove or show any evidence of true sex trafficking, that he's going to get off. They should have got him for something that he actually did: domestic violence, uh, I don't know, being a terrible ass person. But I believe he's going to get off because they have yet to prove anything. Now, when he does get off, I do believe that people need to stand on 10 toes, stand on business, and not fuck with him, not deal with him until he gets some help. This man needs some help because what he did to women, what he did to people, period, is not right. But is it against the law? That's the question. And like OJ said, if it doesn't fit, you must acquit. Will he be acquitted for this because they're not able to prove it? They're not able to prove what they're actually charging him for? Perhaps. It's very, very, very possible that a year from now, Diddy will be walking the streets, continuing his freak offs, learning how to do it a little bit better. It's very possible. Yeah, it's a lot going on. But the question of it all is, what have we learned from this? Have y'all learned anything? Let me tell you what I learned. I learned that while we here on this earth, people think that because they have power, they have money, they have fame, they have celebrity status, that they can do and treat people however they want to treat people. And people forget that eventually everything that we do and the things that we say, we have to answer to them. Diddy, whether he goes to prison or not, he's going to have to answer for the things that he's done. I'm going to have to answer for the things that I've done in my lifetime if I've done things that were not pleasing to the Most High. You're going to have to answer for things that you've done if what you've done is not pleasing to the Most High. Nobody is going to get away with the shit that they've done. And that's what people fail to realize. A lot of people don't understand that we have to answer. They say that angels are ascending and descending, and they are doing a report on everything that we say and everything that we do, and they're writing it down in the book so that when our time comes and the Most High is going to ask us, hey, on this day, why did you do that? Tell me, what was your thought process on this when you treated this person this way? What are you going to do? How are you going to get out of it? What's going to be your answer? What's going to be your reason? We have to answer for everything that we do, and people don't realize that. And so I've learned that while I'm here on this earth, I'm going to try to live my best and closest that I can get to what God wants me to do. I'm not going to be perfect, but treating people with respect, not lying, not stealing, not doing people wrong, respecting my mother and my father, not lusting, not being envious and jealous, right? Not trying to take what somebody else has. Keeping the Sabbath, keeping him first. Not putting no gods, other gods before my God. My heart is to do these things because I know I gotta answer to it. And I don't know about y'all, but I know that I want to go to a heaven if there is one. I want to have everlasting life if I can. I don't want to go to hell. I don't want to be. I don't want to be nowhere near. I don't want none of that. None of that to happen to me. Whatever they say that is possible. I don't want to be dealing with it. I want the best possible outcome. Right. So I'm gonna try to be a woman, a lady. I'm gonna try to have respect and show that I'm respectable. I'm gonna try to be a virtuous woman. I'm gonna try to do these things. I'm not gonna always get it right. Sometimes people might piss me off. I might go crazy, right? But I'm gonna try. And I encourage you to do the same thing. I encourage you today, I challenge you today to see the things that's happening in the world and to dare to be different, to be the change you want to see. And sometimes it just starts in your household. Sometimes it just starts with listening. Simply listening. Opening up your Bible, reading your word, and adhering to the things that they say. Sometimes it just say listening to that man that you had, that good man that you may have. Sometimes it just may say that these things. Sometimes it just may say reflecting. Sometimes it just may. Sometimes it may just take you biting your tongue. What do I know? I don't know much. I don't know much. I don't know much. Listen, you guys, I'm so happy that we had this discussion here on the verdict. The verdict looks a little different, but I'm going to try to still bring the verdict to you guys, regardless of my technical issues that I'm having with my background. That's why I haven't had the verdict going, and plus I've been in school. But if I can just bring you some topics, if I can just talk to you, I'm going to try to do that as much as I can. I appreciate you guys, and I want to say thank you to everyone who because what I say is not law, even though I'm the judge. This is an interactive podcast where I want to hear your verdict. I want to know what's your verdict. I want to know what you feel about these different subjects and topics, and we can agree to disagree. That's important. Also, you guys, make sure you pick up my comedy special, which is called The Verdict. It is on Amazon. And also, if you guys have not purchased my man book, one book is called Why She Left You. The other book is called Alpha Diaries by Kyrie and Beckham. You can also find that on Amazon and also in Barnes and Noble. Pick it up. Read. Reading is imperative. They say if you want to have something from a nigga, put it in a book because we don't read. Reading is imperative. It's fundamental. You learn so many things from reading. Pick these books up. These books are going to change your life. You can find them also on www.alphakbrand.com. Until next time, y'all, your girl is out. I love you. Peace. Peace, peace, and hair grease.